Hello, and welcome back to the LAMDA log. This is week 5, day 4, Thursday, the 20th of October, 2026. So we were back at it with costumes on at 9, and we had a long day of tech. We finished the tech, and then we did a full costume run. We did two entrances that I have two entrances that I struggled with a little bit, but I can fix them. And it was so nice to have such tech support. Um, we're really used to just doing everything by ourselves. And then we did it so well that we were scheduled to have um, notes go till 8 p.m. But instead, we finished at 6. And they said we'll do notes tomorrow. And I was able to go see the director show Meet, and that was fun. But besides that, I got a lovely, we got lovely general notes from Alex, our voice support. He says, much ado about nothing, dress one, voice notes. I'd initially written some individual notes, but before writing this, I considered that what would be useful for you all moving forwards with the production. I've decided on some very specific general notes, as this will help to solve the individual notes I wrote. It'll also be something you can keep going. You can keep going both inside the studio and the theater. The Sainsbury. The Sainsbury is an acoustically dead theater space. Unfortunately, a lot of new modern theater spaces are like this. The smaller space itself makes for less reverberation of sound. The building materials used are concrete, metal, plastic, soft panels, and upholstered seating, which all absorb sound. Lots of modern theaters are designed to have a lot of sound tech that doesn't deal well with echo. A dead space makes it easier to aim speakers at things, etc. So the spoken voice is often the last thing to be considered in new theater buildings. This, coupled with a thrust stage, can bring considerable challenges for the actor. Vocal considerations. Warm up. You need at least a half-hour vocal warm-up before rehearsals and or performances. Coming in at the last minute without having warmed up body, breath, and imagination is the attitude of a hack, not an artist. The legendary ballet dancer Rudolf Nureyev famously said, when I miss class for one day, I know it. When I miss class for 2 days, my teacher knows it. When I miss class for 3 days, the audience knows it. Body. The body needs to be free from unnecessary tensions, not relaxed, and head, neck, spine, and back need to be easily aligned. Good vocal preparation begins and ends with the body. The body of an actor isn't the body of an athlete or a gym buff or a model. The actor's body has to be expressive. Examples of good body work would be gentle yoga stretches, spine rolls, swings, any work you've got from the movement department, or Feldenkrais. I think it's Feldenkrais. 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 Or the floor work we've done. A locked up and collapsed body will restrict the breath and tighten the throat, making free, reflective breathing and an easily firm resonance nigh on impossible. The actor then has to push from the throat to get any sort of energy. Breath. The breath needs to be free so that the ribs can expand and contract, and the abdominal and pelvic floor muscles engage and release to support the flow of breath and sound. Check in your warm-ups that you are giving plenty of time devoted to body and breath. Often I see and hear actors do a few cursory stretches and sighs and then start gliding up and down the range and doing rapid-fire articulation. If the body and breath are not in place, all the work on resonance, range, and articulation will be less efficient, and again will be produced from the throat. The other thing, of course, is that the breath and emotions have an intimate relationship. If you're locking and or holding your breath, you will disconnect from your emotions and again will be pushing from the throat. Resonance. Resonance is energy for free, power without pushing. The body and breath are the foundations for this. When the head, neck, spine, back is well aligned, then the throat can open, pressure is taken off the jaw and the tongue root and the sound and the sound from the vocal folds can be amplified by the open spaces of the throat, mouth, nose, and bones of the body. Good resonance starts with good vocal fold closure, which is why z, v, and zh, humming exercises are all good ways to warm up the voice, to warm the voice up. Then work on the channel and feeling vibrations through the body. The Sainsbury Theatre, as it's a dead acoustic space, will require you to have good mask and good resonance to create ping and brightness that will cut through the deadness. Also, getting the back resonance going will help for any work in the thrust and in the round. Pitch range. Vocal variety is needed to play different tactics. Ultimately, it is the change of tactic that should change the pitch. But the voice needs to be flexible and limber and responsive to allow this to occur. Any work on pitch range from singing and voice work will be useful here. Articulation. Clarity of vowels and consonants, like range, is ultimately controlled by clarity of thinking and of thought. But again, this needs lips and tongues that are limber and agile and can create maximum definition but with minimum effort. Keeping on voice. This is partly done by staying on thought and following the thoughts through to the last syllable. But the physical sensation of this can be aided by chanting or singing the text and then taking that into speaking. Devoicing pulls the sound into you and or onto the floor, leading to a lack of tactic/action playing the story and action playing, and the story becoming less and less clear. Voice and text connection. Do you drop in some text work? Do you drop in some text work to your vocal work? How is your imagination meant to connect to your voice if you work the two things separately? So, after body, breath, and warming the voice up, do some work connecting breath to thought. After warming up the range, walk the journey of the text. After articulation, maybe do some vowel and consonant only work, just a line or two to make that connection. Spatial considerations. When playing in thrust, it's useful to imagine you're in the round, as you'll have your back to some part of the audience most of the time. It is therefore important to keep aware of the backspace and keep on thought, really following everything through to the last syllable and keeping specific with the words and images and rhetorical tools you're using to effect change in the other. Words arise out of a deep-seated want. Stanislavski prized verbal action very highly. He saw this as being so vitally important, he devoted a huge section of An Actor Works on Himself to the voice and the expressive word. Words should be motivated by a strong objective and the need to overcome the obstacle. This is then what enables you to find a really strong, active need for those thoughts, words, and images. If we play mood, atmosphere, emotion, or a pseudo-naturalistic quality, the voice either becomes pushed without any variety or breathy, devoiced, and inaudible. After doing your vocal preparation on the body, breath, resonance, range, and articulation of the voice, and having connected it to the language and imagination, then the things that will help you in the Sainsbury will be totally in the moment. Will be being totally in the moment and pursuing a strong objective and trying to overcome the obstacle through using specific tactics and keeping a broad spatial awareness as you do it. This is challenging but not impossible with practice. Listening and allowing yourself to be changed. It is so easy with texts and many runs of scenes to get stuck into a verbal pattern. What will prevent this is if each time you go on stage, you think that this is the first and last time you'll play that moment. Forget about yesterday insofar as what happened and was achieved, and keep living afresh in the new moment you're engaging with. Listen outwardly to what others say to you, and inwardly to how you're being affected and changed, and allow that to color your response. Other exercises for when caught in a vocal pattern. Whispering parts of your text and then speaking them again can be helpful. Whispering allows you to wipe the text clean of vocal patterns, and you come back simply to the breath and the thought. Chanting text into speaking. This is another nice way of neutralizing vocal patterns, allowing for the new and unknown to emerge. And those were our lovely notes from Alex. So, lots of good stuff. And that was the end of our tech runs. And so we just have rehearsal Friday, Monday, Tuesday. We have a final dress in the space, and then we open Tuesday night. Incredible. Anyway, lots of love. Bye.